recording.
Okay.
So we want to go to Quora.
And share screen again.
Okay, let's do that too. All righty.
All right, so now we go to Quora. Let's go to settings.
Settings.
Yep.
Come on. There we go.
Let's go to domain lists.
Domain list. Okay.
And let's make sure that law firm's domain name is in the list.
It's not here.
Yeah, so just after that one, just hit a new line and add their domain. All right, and then hit save.
Ted, do you have any videos of training made?
No, and a lot of these features are newer than the old material. I'm working on it, but it's not ready yet.
Okay.
And so until it is, we'll just have to have meetings.
Okay, so, that's all right.
All right. Now let's go to Google Maps and let's search for the law firm so we can get their latitude and longitude. So we're going to actually go to Chrome and go to the Google Maps website and we'll search for the law firm.
There we go.
And I wanted to click on the Google Maps because we want to.
I don't know what went there.
Yeah. See the little map in the upper right?
Yeah.
There.
So do you want the coordinates out of the
No, those are the wrong coordinates, by the way. You want to right-click the red flag in the map and select the latitude and longitude. Yep, and that'll copy it. And then we go back to Quora. We click Settings. All right, and we go to Locations. And we create a new line and we add the name of the client and a comma, and then we paste in the coordinates.
Comma, and then paste in.
Yeah, just paste.
Do I put a space?
Nope. And you can, it doesn't matter either way.
Okay.
And then hit save.
Awesome.
And then try it out in the menu for the latitude and longitude.
There we go.
All right. So now you have them set up.
Awesome.
Now let's put in a keyword they're trying to rank for.
Where do we want to enter it at?
Right next to the search button. Yeah, where it says hardwood floor installation, we'll replace it.
Let's go. D. See, now I'm just going to ask you a question and you can tell me which one I should use. Google wants to change it to DWI, but you go into the words searched, the number one keyword searched to find his is DUI. Which one should we use?
All right. Well, here's my thoughts on it. So you're telling me that the customers are typing DUI to find them.
Correct.
Is the client willing to use DUI on page?
That's, yeah, that's what I've been optimizing him for because that was the number one keyword.
All right. So if that's how the customers search and the client is okay tuning for it, then yeah, I'd go for the better opportunity.
Leave off the locale. Just
Yeah,
DUI.
just DUI attorney. Hit search.
Because it's going to those coordinates anyway, right?
Yep. And you already ranked number one for that one. You have a different one you're trying to rank for?
Well, that's the home page.
Yeah.
I already ranked number one in Houston. No shit. That made it easy. And he just had his website completely redone. Wow. Well, should we go for DWI this time? Let's see, because that's
Yeah, see if that's any different.
because that was what I was optimizing him for.
All right, so now you're 5 there, so maybe we can tweak the page and get both.
Okay, let's do that.
So let's run the report by pressing get data. And then this will take 5 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, I'm just surprised that what I've already done is ranking for DUI. But Google wants to put that in bold DWI to switch it back because that's the Texas statute.
Yep.
But like I was telling him, not everybody is from Texas. A majority of the states call it DUI.
And it's possible for you to rank the homepage for DUI attorney and DWI attorney, and probably DUI lawyer and DWI lawyer.
Yes.
I wouldn't go beyond that on the homepage. Everything else I'd try to do inner pages.
Because those are all, I don't know if the word synonymous is correct, but
Yeah,
they're all the same meaning according to Google, and Google knows.
Yeah, and you just don't want to get too much load-bearing keywords on the homepage, because then you start getting into this house of cards effect where every time you try to fix one, you break all the others.
Right.
And so there's a practical limit for how much tuning you can do without it becoming, very unstable.
When you see the report, you can tell me what you think that you would do as a minimum or maximum.
Yeah, the main problem is when lawyers start saying, well, I want to rank for injury attorney on the homepage, and I want to rank for Uber accident lawyer on the homepage, and all of those types of things should be inner pages dedicated, like a service page on the website instead of on the homepage.
Exactly. And that was what I was asking you last time in the training. He's given me 5 keywords that he wants to rank, and I told him we have to build a separate page for each one of those keywords. It's like celebrity DUI or
Yeah.
and, I forget
So
what the rest of them are.
Treat them all like their own individual service offering. And same thing with locations within his service area. And for location pages, I would do any of the municipalities, but I would also go to neighborhood levels if it's urban.
Yes.
So a lot of people will search for neighborhood attorneys. Um, there will be a tiny amount of county level attorney searches and a tiny amount of state level attorney searches. But they do happen, but I would prioritize those as the last thing you do. But definitely towns and neighborhoods are very common.
I told him I would go to the top 10 affluent areas, whether
Yeah.
municipality or neighborhood or whatever. And that's what I'm going to build those pages out for. But when we don't, you in the promo, when I had the web designer on, you told us a way to run the report when we don't already have the page built. Can you run through that real quick while we're waiting?
Yeah, when you don't have the page built and you need the numbers, the easiest thing you can do is like go to your own business website and add a blank HTML and just name the file blank.html and upload it to your hosting. And it's just a blank page, but it's being hosted from the web server, so you can put in the URL and go to the blank page. And then for any keyword you want to run, you see that force URL field at the bottom of Cora?
Yeah.
All right. If you slide that vertical divider to the right, you'll see a button that says add to end of results. So you would put the URL for the blank page in there, and then you would hit the add to end of results to make the blank page result number 100. And then you track the blank page, and then you can get a roadmap for what a blank page would need to do to rank for the keyword.
Okay.
And now, so you can reuse that blank page for any keyword you ever want to rank for to get a roadmap for what you need to do from scratch.
But you wouldn't do it from his URL?
If he has one, but we're using the hypothetical that you don't have a page yet.
That's what I was going to say, because I was going to.
Yeah, it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be on his site. It can be any site with a blank page. Like, actually, I should probably just put one on my web page and tell you to use it.
Well, what I was going to do is have the web designer build the page. In other words, just the slug, the URL slug. Let's just say it was Tyler Flood celebrity DUI or whatever, and that's the keyword. And then just post or build that page so it's blank. Will that work?
Yeah, but I am going to put a URL in chat that you can use. It's already built for you.
Okay.
All right, so I just sent you a URL. You can use it for any keyword. It is a blank URL. So
Okay.
Force it to be number 100. You track it, and the roadmap you get from doing that will be what you need to do for a blank page.
Okay. And so when he gets ready to build the page, he can build the page and then drop the content in there.
Yep. And now that I have that blank page out there, I ought to put in a button at the bottom for track a blank page.
Yeah.
Just add it to, I should just add it to the end of the results so you could track a blank page.
So, all right, I'll listen to this again so I know exactly what to do. It's just,
So when you run the search and you see that your client isn't in there, when you're looking at the results, that's when you can force a URL to be the last result.
Okay.
So after you search, but before you press get data.
Oh, okay. I see. I just got to get used to it. I know it'll be easier once I've done it a few times, running these reports. So this is the latest version?
No, 7.4 beta is the latest version, but I'm trying to get 7.5 out, which will hopefully be the new stable release.
Is
So
there a
there's
lot of changes?
not a lot of changes, a fair amount though. There's a built-in indexer in 7.4. There's a number of new reports. There's ranking grids for local as an optional add-on. There's a number of cool things in there.
Cool. Well, I think I'm going to be able to, the way I've explained it to all my clients is this is a minimum of a 6-month build. So, you know, we can expect some minor results in 2 to 4 days, but most of the results is not going to happen for at least 30. I didn't really get in. I kind of got into the press release, but I didn't really elaborate. I mean, since they're all coming on board, I probably could afford to do the press release in the service, since it's only once every 2 years, so it's not a big deal.
Or you can tell them that they need to do it, and you just give them a draft of what it should be and tell them which vendor they should go through.
Well, I've got a couple. I don't know if you were on that. When we had COVID, we had a summit with, I even forgot who it was, but they had a press release service that, the press release service that Semantic Mastery uses, all of the juice goes back to that press release company before it goes back out to your links that you have in the press release. This one, the press release company, goes to wherever you direct it to.
Yeah,
So,
and that's an important thing to look for, is to make sure they're not scamming the SEO of the press release for their business.
right. So I'll have to go there. There's several different press release companies I can use, and
Yeah.
I was running, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 press releases a week with the one company. Had unlimited press releases for $500 a month.
Oh, was that Press Advantage?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been using them. I've been getting decent results.
I can go back to him, but I'm not going to need that many press releases, for a monthly service.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a package deal than. I spent a lot of money with him, and it helped. It was, it definitely helped. It helped, I was always powering up the drive stacks, and that's I was 100% in the GMB. I didn't give a shit about the websites. I said eventually, if they tie their website to the GMB, it's going to help pull their website up. But
well, don't walk away from the GMB. It's still quite important.
Yeah, well, you can't have one without the other now.
Yeah, yeah.
You got to have a GMB with a website. What Bradley was showing was he initially was going with the GMB website, and then having like the appointment URL was the regular website, or the self-hosted website, and he just started dropping in ranks. And he says, as soon as I changed it to the self-hosted website and dropped the GMB website, everything it came back. The ranking came back. So I've always initiated just using the GMB. So now I've got to switch over and try to get them to use, or just go back in and switch it over to the self-hosted websites. But then we got to go in and do the things what we're doing now, run these reports.
Yep. Tune the
Just
websites.
more work.
Yeah, there's no easy button, but that's why it costs money.
That's right. So it's still cranking, isn't it?
Yeah, it's getting there. It'll pick up in a minute or so.
So are you trying to stay away from clients, just keep your service going, or you're doing both?
Well, I tend to do very short engagements. I don't want to take on long-term clients because I don't think I can support them well while running a software company and trying to support my software clients well. So I had to pick one or the other. And so I'm putting all my time and investment into supporting my software customers. But occasionally, a friend will call and say, "Hey, I had an SEO and I had to let him go because it wasn't working out, and he sabotaged the business on his way out the door." And I'll come and do emergency SEO. I'll figure out what they did and undo it. Um, and occasionally I'll have a friend come and say, "Hey, we have this enterprise level lead. We got our foot in the door. Can you help us land them?" And so I'll help them do the type of audit they need to do to land a large enterprise.
Well, all pays the bills, right?
Yeah, yeah. So most of the SEO engagements I do nowadays are favors, and I'll do like 3 or 4 of them a year, but they aren't long-term clients.
Um, is there any way that I can show the clients where they're ranking with this service? Do you have any reports that show?
Yeah, yeah. Kind of the best way to describe their ranking situation is with the volatility tool.
Okay.
And honestly, that is probably an hour lesson all by itself. So, probably the proper thing to do would be to schedule another meeting to go over volatility.
Okay.
Because otherwise, we'd rush it in like 15 minutes and none of it would stick. And that's
Right.
not a good way to teach it.
Right. Well, I'll get this started on his website, and then when I'll take a look at the volatility, because we went through that on the other call, and see if there is any cannibalization or not. And if there isn't, I'll wait till I have one that is, and we'll go over it then.
Okay.
I don't think that there will be, but you never know.
It's good to check whenever you're starting with a new customer. Check their most important pages and their most important keywords.
And that report,
Yeah, it'll tell you if there's cannibalization or if there's time sharing, and either of those problems are kind of serious and important to diagnose up front.
right. Well, this customer is pretty happy with what's been going on. That's why he didn't have a problem. He says, Paul, he says, I've been dealing with this for the last few years. I hire these big SEO companies, and he says all they do is come back in a month or two, and there's no results, and they want more money.
Yeah.
So this is nothing new to me. He says the only difference is you've already produced. And I said, well, and then he made the comment, and he says, you're still in the budget, so let's keep going. Okay. And I didn't quite double his fee, but just about, because of all the new stuff. I got 5 pages of keywords that he wants to go after, and then the 10 new pages for the locations. So that in itself is enough work for me for one website.
Yeah, and a lot of these local guys, once you do good work for them, then they start telling all their buddies at the golf course, "Hey, I know a guy who can get the job done right." And
Yeah.
the referral network usually makes it easy to keep the roster full.
Yeah.
And
That's the way it was in construction. I 100%, I never advertised. It was just constantly. The year that I filed bankruptcy, when the banking cartel took me out, it was the first year that I was 1 year scheduled out. I was scheduled 1 year in advance on all the different jobs that we had going. That had never happened before, off of referrals and estimations. And so that's always feels good to have, but it all dissipated in about 2 weeks once the banking cartel took the economy down.
And the other thing you can do once the referrals get really high is you tell your existing customers, "Hey, we've already ranked you. I'm not going to keep billing you for what it costs to get you ranked. I want to reduce you to a maintenance mode." And what that does is it keeps you on my roster. So if anything comes up, I'm available to do work and help you out, versus canceling service, where if something comes up, I would need an opening on my roster to help you out again.
Exactly.
And so they often like paying less to be on maintenance mode, and it lets you spend your hours on new clients where you're charging the bigger dollars. And then you get a lot of people in maintenance mode, and that's really nice. And they never want to cancel because they always want the guy who can get it done.
Yeah, well, you never know when something's going to come up. So
yeah,
they're I know exactly what you mean. I've even had customers tell me, he says, I keep paying you every month. He says, because I don't want to lose you.
Yeah.
Says, I don't necessarily need you, but I just need to be able to pick up the phone and call you.
Yeah, exactly. And
Which they never do, but
But they will never cancel if you lower their rate to keep them on maintenance mode. You'll probably be the only SEO that ever even suggested that to them. So
yeah.
yeah, they'll never cancel at that point. They'd go under. The only reason they'd cancel is they closed their doors for some reason.
Right. Yeah. What would you percentage wise reduce to maintenance mode?
Well, you gotta consider what you need to make. So let's say your roster is 5 clients Like you can manage 5 clients without dropping the ball and you can deliver good results. For any more than that, and you're going to start making mistakes and clients are going to get mad. So now all of a sudden you have one client where you've ranked all of his pages, but you're charging them the full expensive price, but you're not really doing any more SEO for him. And you have a new client who you can bring in. So maybe you cut the maintenance mode as half price. So he's in the background on maintenance mode at half price, and you occasionally come in and look at things and make sure things are going okay. Less amount of work, but then you're doing a new client on the roster at full price.
That's
So
still
now,
cool. Yeah.
yeah, now you're doing 5 clients worth of work still, but you're getting 5.5 clients worth of revenue. And so when you build out that maintenance mode, you keep adding half clients to the revenue, but still only doing 5 clients of work.
That works.
And so if you can get 5 on maintenance mode and 5 on active work, that's pretty good. Now you're doing 5 clients of work, but you're doing 7.5 clients in revenue.
Right.
And so you see how you slowly build to a really good place with maintenance mode. But the goal is to keep your full service roster at a limited capacity, but you have to move people into maintenance mode to do it.
Right.
And you almost have to incentivize them, and that's why you lower the price for maintenance mode.
Cool. Well, it says it's done. Do I click stop?
Yeah, just click stop. Once you see the done, you're good. It should stop on its own, but sometimes it gets stuck.
Okay.
And then we can close Cora if you want and go to your output folder and look at the new report. And so, yeah, the Excel file.
Meta descriptions.
So exact matches and H2 tags. So DWI attorney and an H2. That's probably quite important.
Yeah.
Looks like they want DWI mentioned in the H1. So sometimes it's good.
One of the variants up above.
Well, specifically the variation DWI. So let's say your H1 is, something along the lines of DUI attorney in Los Angeles. You might say DUI attorney / DWI attorney in Los Angeles. So you're just calling it out saying, these are the same thing, I am both. But you mention them both, so you get both in the H1.
Right. So the line 15, it says variant DWI in parentheses, or not parentheses, but quotes. That means that variant, not one of the other ones.
But by using one of the other ones, you actually get both. So if you put in DWI attorney, you technically have DWI in there as well.
Okay.
Yeah, variations in H3 tags. This looks pretty straightforward. Let's take a look at phase 2.
Looks a lot of simple stuff, huh?
Yeah. Phase 1 looks bread and butter. All right, so in phase 2, the one thing that's kind of standing out to me is the keyword density. So I would have you not do keyword density to start, But if you don't get the results you want, let's like make a note to revisit that at the end.
Where, what line are you
so
looking at?
both row 54 and 61 pertain to keyword density on the page, and it's
Okay.
telling you to get 4% more keyword density, which is a lot more keyword density. But I wouldn't start there. Let's kind of do everything else and come back to that at the end if it's needed.
So as a last resort to get into that.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a couple reasons we want to do that. One, we're going to edit the page and add a bunch of stuff. So that problem should get smaller as we do that other work. The other thing is that as we add variations and entities and LSI keywords and stuff to the page, we're going to wreck our keyword density again. So if we did keyword density first and then we did the other tuning, we'd end up having to do keyword density twice. So if you do keyword density last, you never have to do it twice.
There you go. Number 60. What's a P tag?
Paragraph tag.
Okay, paragraph tag. 63 more. Jesus.
So that tells you that one of your competitors is kind of beating you with long form content.
There you go.
But I've seen worse. This isn't the most difficult keyword I've ever seen. This is still in the realm of doable.
Yeah, for fifth position, it's not a whole lot to do.
Yeah, let's scroll down and look at 3 and 4. All right, so you're within the ballpark of one press release here again, and it's quite possible that one press release for this page ought to do the trick here.
So when you say run a press release, you'd use the keyword, and you would the URL would come back to this page.
Yeah, and you find some charity he's donated to this year already, or you find one he's willing to donate to this year, and you just run a press release saying, hey, this local law firm is donating, to this local charity because he wants to promote awareness within the neighborhood of this very great cause. And you're going to link back to them with the keyword DWI attorney in the press release. And that's all you're doing. Nothing nefarious. It's about, a DWI attorney. The charity should maybe be about some DWI related cause within the area. And that way it can be topically about DWIs and the area. Mm-hmm. And presto, nothing nefarious, nothing that would be sketchy. It should be noble and good and honest and normal business for somebody in this industry in this area. And hopefully more people donate to a charity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Boom.
So 4.
And 4. Yeah, very small amount of diversity needed. I do it all still, but very small amount. Now, the things that I find alarming, the fact that he's short on subtype attorney. So he doesn't have the subcategory in his business profile of attorney set. We'll want to double check that. So row 84, that one we want to check on.
Subtype attorney.
And yeah. So how you can have 7 categories assigned to a local business and a Google business profile?
Yeah, the only category that they list that you, without getting into other civil types of attorneys, is criminal justice attorney or criminal justice lawyer, whatever. I can't remember what it is, but that's the only attorney or the only category that Google offers up.
There's a general one of just attorney, and it appears to not be set. So he may just want to set the general one of attorney.
Okay, yeah, we can do that.
The address variations you can't really do, so you'll trigger problems if you play that game. Appointments required. So that's an easy switch to set. So appointments probably ought to be required. So just set the switch.
Map distances, distance miles. What is that?
You can't really, we study proximity, so it's telling you proximity matters, but don't worry about it. You can't really move his business. So it is what it is. On-site services enabled. So does he go on site with clients?
He will. He would prefer them to come to his office, but he has met them in restaurants and probably their homes and stuff. But
yeah, and it looks like he hasn't set himself up as a law firm. And if that's applicable, he should set it, because the problem is if people say I need a DUI law firm and he doesn't set that switch, he won't be in that search.
So would that be under the categories?
Yeah, that would be another category he's not using, but his competitors are.
Okay.
And so whenever the thing about these profile things, we see it all the time. If you don't set the switches and somebody searches for that particular keyword, you just won't be in that search. So for example, if you're a restaurant and you think people should come to your restaurant for a quick lunch because you have a very fast lunch option, then you need to set the quick bite switch in the business profile. Because if you don't do that and somebody says, I'm searching for a quick lunch near me, well, you don't have quick bite set, you won't be in the quick lunch search. Or if you're a bar and you have a karaoke night on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but you don't set the karaoke switch, when people search for karaoke near me, you won't be in the search. So these little switches and categories become important for appearing in those searches.
Number 90. Is that some just rogue?
That's a rogue one. So we'd have to do some investigation to figure out which attorney is also in a flooring store.
All right.
But yeah, Bob's legal services and flooring installation is out there somewhere.
Wow. Well, it must be above 5th position, so yeah. So moving on to number 6.
I wouldn't. I would focus on 1 through 5.
Okay.
Yeah, let's fix 1 through 5, and then if you're not there, then we can explore more.
All right. Not a problem. Well, we're almost to the minute.
Yeah, and I got another meeting starting in a minute. So yeah, let me know how it goes and schedule another meeting anytime and we'll look at volatility.
All right, boss. I appreciate it. I really do.
All right.
You have a great.
We'll talk to you soon.
You bet.
All right, take care.
Bye.